Good morning, madam and all my beloved friends. Welcome to my Scratch project, and today I'm going to present my Scratch project, which is based on Year 6 science topic from Unit 9 called Waste Material. Every day we throw away things we no longer use, like plastic bottle, broken toys, or leftover food. But have we ever stopped to think what are the types of waste and how to manage them wisely? In this topic, we will explore the world of waste material and learn how everyday actions like sorting waste or recycling can make a big difference. In this topic, it's all about learning how to protect our environment, reduce pollution, and live a cleaner and greener life. So, in my Scratch project, I have turned this topic into a fun and interactive learning experience with lessons, a storyline, games, and quiz to help the student understand and learn about the topic easily. So, this is my first page, and when we click the next, it will come to the content standards. So first, let me briefly explain about the learning standard for this topic. In this unit, we will learn about different types of waste material and how to manage them responsibly. Waste is all around us, but not all waste is the same. Some can break down naturally, or others stay in the environment for hundreds of years. So, we will explore the following key learning points. The first one is 9.1.1. Identify waste material based on the type of material. We will learn to recognize different types of waste material such as glass, metal, paper, toxic waste, food waste, plastic, and FSC, as well as the example of each type to help us manage waste more wisely. And the second one is 9.1.2. is state the meaning of the biodegradable and non-biodegradable waste material. And we will understand the difference between the biodegradable and non-biodegradable waste. Biodegradable waste refers to the waste that can compose by microorganisms such as bacteria and fungi. In contrast, non-biodegradable is the waste that cannot be decomposed by microorganisms. So the third one is 9.1.3. Classify the waste material into biodegradable and non-biodegradable material. So in this topic, we will learn to practice sorting waste material into the correct category and to understand how to treat them properly. And the last learning standard is 9.1.5. Describe proper ways of waste management for sustainable life. And in this subtopic, we will learn about waste management practice such as reusing, recycling, and repairing. In addition, we will explore other proper ways to manage the waste to help protect the environment and support more sustainable life. So let us explore my Scratch project. But before that, before we explore, I need to explain about how to play this Scratch project. So this Scratch project includes 3 types of learning method, like include quiz, lessons, and games. And all the buttons that appear on the screen are clickable. When we first enter the page, and we will see a learning standard, and this is the learning standard that shows what we will be learning. After that, a storyline will begin. During each part of the storyline, we will be taught lessons that related to waste material. After each lesson, a game will appear to help reinforce what the students have learned just now. There are 3 main lessons in total. The first lesson is about the type of material. The second lesson is about the biodegradable and non-biodegradable waste material. And the third lesson is covered about the waste management. So this is the first storyline, and it teaches about the types of material. And let us see the storyline first. And this button is clickable, and after the first scene ends, the button can click. And this is the first scene. And before we continue the storyline, I would like to explain about the games of the Scratch. Scratch includes 3 types of games. The first one is about a shooting games, where we click on the correct type of waste. If you click on the wrong waste or miss the correct one, the score will decrease. So this game helps the student improve their ability to quickly recognize different types of waste material. And the second game is about a drag and drop games, where we need to drag the waste into the correct recycle bin. If we drag to the wrong bin, the point will also be decreased. And the third one is about a quiz, where we choose the correct answer to strengthen our understanding of the topic. And this quiz helps students to review and recall the key of knowledge, ensuring the student remember what they have learned. And the remaining story and the game will also be shown later. Let us start to explore the next storyline. This is the next storyline. This is the storyline 1, scene 2. will explain what are the examples of the 7 types of waste material. And this is the storyline scene 3. Storyline will explain what are the examples of the 7 types of waste material. Number 5 is food waste, number 6 plastic waste. And the last one is faces. Okay, and after the storyline, a game will appear. This is the character named Trust Monster, and its role is like throw the rubbish all around the world. And the main character, the penguin named Pen Pen, and another and his friend named Kins will help to solve the problem. And this human named Professor Greens, and his role is teach students about the knowledge of the waste material. And this game we need to shoot the correct waste material. Let us try to play this game. Like if we shoot wrong, the mark will decrease, and when we shoot correct, it won't really decrease the marks. Like this, when I shoot wrong, it will decrease. When I shoot correct, it will maintain my line. So the student must pay attention on this game. So victory. So this is the first game. Before we continue to explore my Scratch project, I would like to share some city skills that I have used during develop this Scratch project. This is the learning standards, and this is about how to play the Scratch project. And this is the city skill that I have used in my Scratch project. The number 1 is decompositions, number 2 is pattern recognitions, number 3 is abstractions, number 4 algorithms, and number 5 is evaluations. So the first one, decompositions, breaking a big problem into small parts. So the first thing that I did was plan a main topic, which is waste material. Since it is a big topic, I used decompositions to break into 3 smaller parts, which is types of material. Part number 1, part number 2 is biodegradable and non-biodegradable, and number 3 is waste management. By splitting the big topic into a smaller part, I was able to plan lesson more clearly, match each subtopic with a specific games or quiz, and also can avoid overwhelming the user with too much information at once. So the example is, I decided that lesson 1 would explain type of material, and lesson 2 will explain about the biodegradable and non-biodegradable waste, and the last lesson will focus on the proper waste management. Then I pair each one with a game or activity. And number 2 is about pattern recognition, which is design interactive learning. So before designing the game, I noticed that in science or English subject, quiz are used to test the understanding at the end of each topic. Game keep learning fun and engaging, and visual aid are used more than long text. So in my Scratch project, I add a quiz at the end to check the understanding of the students, and also create a shooting and drag and drop games. I also use icon, speech bubble, and animations. And about the share patterns, across all subject, quiz and interactive tools are used to make the learning more fun, help students stay focused, and reinforce memory through practice. And what I did, I followed this pattern by designing 3 games level, make sure each level connect to the lesson taught before it, and using repetitions and reward to help students remember better. And the next city skill is about abstractions, focusing on what's important and ignoring the irrelevant detail. When designing the lesson content in Scratch, I didn't just copy full paragraph from textbook. Instead, I used abstractions to summarize key points, making the lesson short. For example, instead of writing a long explanation about non-biodegradable waste, I summarize it as non-biodegradable waste is waste that cannot decompose easily, such as plastic and glass. And this is more short, and the student can easily to get what the sentence means. And besides that, I also use picture, icon, and keywords to explain the concept clearly. And the next is about the algorithms, by creating step-by-step instructions for the program to work. So when build the project in Scratch, I use algorithms to control how the program flew from one part to the next. I create a clear sequence of actions and logical conditions to guide the student through the lessons. So the first example of the algorithm used is about the lesson flow algorithm. So the first step is when the sprite is clicked, they will show the menu of the lesson. And after the lesson is selected, the storyline will be shown. And after the short storyline, the game or quiz will appear. And in this situation, I use Scratch if then blocks, broadcast message, and variable to organize this action clearly. And the next one is about evaluations, testing, debugging, and improving. Throughout the creation process, I practice evaluation by constantly testing, debugging, and improve the Scratch project. And what I did, I run the game multiple times to check if button work. I test whether the score increased or decreased correctly. When I found a bug like button is not responding or the wrong screen showing, I fix the code and try different method and test again. One of the example is when a bug appeared like a button not responding or a game element not resetting, I went through a process of try and error, debugging the code, making a small adjustment, and retesting over and over. And this try and error process helped me improve the project's quality and make it more user-friendly. And now, I would like to share about how I developed my project. So to develop this project, I first start with a careful planning. I choose a topic, waste material, from Year 6 Topic 9 because it is closely related to our daily life and helps promote environmental awareness among students. So the second one is I use a storyline. Instead of using traditional teaching method where students just sit and listen to the teacher, I choose to use a story-based approach. This is because storyline is more lively, interesting, and engaging, allowing students to feel like they are immersed in a scenario. To bring the story to life, I create two main characters named Pan and Kit, who act as friendly guide to lead us through the learning journey. They make the experience more relatable and enjoyable for students. I would like to also introduce a supporting character called Professor Green, who teaches us important knowledge about waste material throughout the lesson. He acts as a mentor figure in the story, helping us understanding science in a fun and clear way. Finally, I designed a character named Trust Monster who represents the danger of poor waste management. This character creates a sense of urgency and critique, showing what could happen if we don't take care about our environment. And it helps students become more aware of the consequence of their action and encourage their responsibility. And the next one, I also add on some interactive element in Scratch. To make the learning process interactive, I add clickable buttons in Scratch. This allows students to explore the content by themselves instead of passively watching. Interactive feature helps keep their attention and make their learning process more dynamic and enjoyable. Number 4 is about the game-based learning. Just like I mentioned just now, I have created 3 types of game. Game 1 is about shooting game, game 2 is about a drag and drop, and the game number 3 is about quiz. So why I include the shooting game? Because it's fun, exciting, and highly engagement. It grabs the student attention and makes the lesson more memorable. For the second game, I designed a drag and drop activity. Students need to sort the biodegradable and non-biodegradable waste into a correct bin. Okay, so this game let them practice waste separation in a virtual environment, helping them understand that the non-biodegradable waste is harmful to the environment. The third game is a quiz. Quiz is very useful because they help students recall and apply what they have learned. They serve as a self-check to see if the student has truly understood the topic and to improve the retention by encouraging active thinking. Besides, I also add on the music and sound effect. Added background music and the sound effect can enhance the experience. It also helps to set the atmosphere of each scene, capture the student attention and maintain their interest, and make the project feel more lively and immersive. And the last one is support emotional connection to the storyline and the character. For example, I use cheerful music during lesson for a fun environment. And the last one is about how the Scratch project is beneficial in school. So the first benefit is support curriculum learning. So this project is based on the Year 6 Science Syllabus Unit 9 Waste Material, making it directly relevant to what students are expected to learn in class. It reinforces key learning standards such as identify the type of waste, understanding the biodegradable and non-biodegradable material, and also practicing the proper waste management. And the second benefit is make the learning fun and engaging. Instead of just listen to the teacher or reading from the textbook, students can interact with the lesson through game, animation, and a storyline. This not only will increase student attention, but also will keep the student motivated. Besides, it will also help them remember better through active learning. The third benefit is build 21 first century and city skill. This project introduces students to the computational thinking, including decompositions, pattern recognitions, abstractions, algorithm, and evaluation. These are the important skills for problem solving in STEM subject and future career. And number 4 is promote environmental awareness. Through the storyline, character, and games, students learn not just science fact, but also real-world value. And the value is about the importance of keeping the environment clean, the harmful effect of the pollution, and how small action like sorting waste can make a big difference. And this will help build responsible, eco-conscious of the student. The last benefit is about encourage interactive and student-centered learning. The Scratch project shifts the classroom experience from teacher-centered to student-centered. Students explore, click, learn, and play on their own way or in group. And this will promote self-directed learning, collaboration, and also curiosity and creativity. That's all from me about the city skill that I have used during develop the Scratch project and how I developed the Scratch project. And the last is how the Scratch project benefit in school. So let us continue to explore my Scratch project. So this is the storyline 2. This human's named Professor Green, and this penguin is Pen, and another animal named Kin. The button is clickable, and we can see the example. This is the information about the topic. And after this storyline 2 will also appear games, and this will let students feel more interesting. This is the game 2 about the biodegradable and non-biodegradable, and this is a drag and drop games. This is so the bar is non-biodegradable, so we must put into the correct bin. And this is the food, leftover food, and this is the mark, and this is the time. When time's up, we will continue to storyline 3. Yes, this is the end of the game 2. So this is also a clickable buttons, and we will now go to storyline 3. And some of the scene I add on a background effect and a sound effect so that the student will immerse in the scene. And this is the clickable. Okay, when we click the buttons, it will enter the menu of the storyline 3, which is about the proper waste management. In the textbook, it includes 9 ways of waste management. So this is the first one. When we click, we will enter storyline, and the storyline will teach how to manage the garbage wisely. And we click, it will pop out information about the proper way. And these 3 and this is also storyline 3 about the recycling bins. Since the recycling bin is very important, I focus on it because to let the student can differentiate the waste material correctly. So let's go. So this 3 button is clickable, and when student click, it will pop up the information about the bins. So this is the adult proper waste management. And after this storyline 3 will also appear a games, which is quiz, and the quiz is let them to strengthen the knowledge that they have learned just now. And this is the quiz time. So this is the quiz that I create. It is easy. The quiz is about the effect of improper waste management, and the quiz can generate an idea to the students, like what will be happen when improper waste management. So when we click, the button next will pop up. So this is time's up. This is the last game that I have created for the Scratch games. And that's all from me. This is my Scratch project. Thank Thank you and bye.